Alright, today we have two different runs, but they are both level up teams. However, by the end we're going to have 5 completely different units in each run. So hopefully that brings a little bit of variety to proceedings, because oftentimes the level up builds in this game tend to revolve around the same set of units. So this one we're picking up on turn 6. We end up getting a tie there. I think the retriever coming in early might have actually been pretty important. But then we take the Anubis here. This might have actually been recorded in a pack that had a specific other type of purpose. I was recording a bunch of different things at the same time, which I'm trying to do more these days. It's a bit more efficient that way. However, the upshot of that is that I have ended up with a ton of runs waiting to be edited. So as I'm recording this, I think I have 5 or 6 runs already voiced, which is very, very unusual for me. So we've got our first level up unit here in the clownfish. We immediately just take the level up on it because I think it's better to have the 9-10 than to have the 2 individual units. However, unsurprisingly, it does result in a loss. And then we're going to take Flounder. So Flounder has become one of my most used units, I think, in the newest version of the game. I guess it's actually been 2 patches since Flounder was introduced. But it's just such a useful unit, being able to get the double chocolate and with a multitude of different ways to activate it, including Radish, including passing perks with Turtle and so on. So what I wanted to do for the first run here is build the team around the Flounder activating in battle. And I have actually seen a few teams doing similar types of things to what we're going to end up with here. However, I think very few people are using the in-battle activations of Flounder, which makes total sense. You know, there's no real reason to do it. There are other better options for activating things in battle. And actually here you can see, as we level up the Anubis, it does activate the Turtle. So I was a little bit surprised that that worked. But I guess it's something to do with the fact that the Radish is going off before everything else. I could be wrong, but I think that's the reason it works, because otherwise you wouldn't expect the Flounder ability to go before Anubis. But yeah, we can see it again here. The Flounder gains the lemon. Actually, that time it didn't go off. So what was the difference there? I don't know. I haven't watched this back, so we're all just learning as we go. So I'm going to pill the Turtle onto the Ammonite. And then we're just going to roll down a few times. Is it only 2 rolls you need now for Ammonite? I forget. But I actually didn't realize until trying to record this run that the Ammonite doesn't need any rolls to transform the unit behind into a Mimic. Even if you don't roll at all, it will still work. It just won't gain any experience. Now, obviously, we ultimately want the Ammonite to be causing level ups so that the clownfish actually goes off. And yeah, you can see what's going to happen here with Anubis. Once we get Anubis to level 3, it's going to activate the Ammonite at start of battle. And the teams I was speaking about earlier, they were all involving this particular mechanic here, where we get 2 transformations at once. Now, I recorded another video earlier that shows an opposing team doing this. This is the first time I'm using it. But yeah, you can see it's kind of strange really. It turns the unit behind into a Mimic, levels it up, and then the second time round, it turns it back into a level 1, and then turns it into a Mimic again, although it's still a Mimic already. So it's kind of a little bit inconsistent with you know, the way that perks work. You know, if the unit behind is has already got the same perk, as you can see that happened with the other team with the Turtle, it passes over that unit. However, Ammonite does not pass over units that are already Mimic octopuses. So yeah, I don't know if that's intended or not, but it does allow you to do some interesting things as we scrape a win here against the Vulture team. So the Farmer Dog base stats is just there in order to give the Flounder 1 feed in shop. We have to be careful we don't level it up, because if we do that, the Flounder will permanently transform. Now, I guess really it doesn't matter too much if that happens. It's you know, the whole point is that we're getting as many level up activations in battle as possible. But of course, you don't have to do that. You know, you can just transform it in the shop. As we get destroyed by a German Shepherd Easter egg team, not surprised. So we get a level 3 Ammonite, which I'm not sure I've had it before. And we're just rolling down looking for the level 3 Flounder. It doesn't actually matter in terms of the level up. It just gives us more chocolate. Kind of an unusual looking team here. This looks like free to play, but you don't see very many teams with level 3 Tarantula Hawk, especially when it has a very low attack. But then we get the very fun interaction from the quail at the back. The chick turned into the quail and then gave plus 12/12 to the pony at the front. Very fun to see someone going for that. And here is where I make the mistake, because I buy the chocolate onto the flounder, the farmer dog then feeds it, and we get the level ups permanently. So, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but yeah, it was pretty frustrating when the whole point of this was to see the level ups happening in battle. And there we go, 2 sets of level ups. However, we do end up drawing this 100-100 behemoth team. I think they had Stego. We do have Fortune Cookie. However, it does not crit. If it was a crit there, it would have been a tie. But unfortunately, the Flounder in battle level up team does not get the win. Now, onto the second run, and we're not going to use any of those pets. I can't remember if I buy any of them temporarily or not, but by the end, we're going to have a completely different team. No Anubis, no Clownfish, no Flounder, and no Ammonite. So I'm using a unit here that I have not used many times, but it does seem to be quite popular and also very strong, and that is Dimetrodon. So it's a 4-squad pet. It's very interesting in that it has 2 abilities that activate depending on whether or not there's a space available. And back when I was designing my own pack, that was one of the things that I wanted there to be in the game, that there were these abilities that would you know, be an either-or type situation. So here, if we have the empty space, the Dimetrodon is going to summon a 10-10 Dimetrodon. But if there is no empty space, then it will just buff every unit in the team. So yeah, quite an interesting and flexible unit. I haven't used it in many custom packs, but probably I should add it to more in the future. Obviously, I was just double checking its ability there. And since we have the frog level 2 already, we can just keep feeding the chipmunk because it's going to have its stats swapped sooner or later. I take the radish on the Dimetrodon. Presumably I'm going for level 3 frog here, so there must be a tier 6 that I'm intending on swapping the stats onto. Here's a broken bench with a nice dromedary stat going, so we're going to lose. But when you've got elk on the team and you're just greeding for gold, you're not really bothered too much. You're expecting to lose most of the time. Even though we're building up tons of gold here, I'm also going to take the rice on the frog. I don't know how many times I've made jokes about RevGT playing elk, but you know, it's his turn now. He can say, he has free reign to say something derogatory in the comments. So now, yeah, we could have actually taken 2 separate elks there, because then the Dimetrodon ability would still go off. However, I take the level up and I get Team Spirit. Now, it wouldn't be a level up video in the modern era without Team Spirit. So we're going to take it now. And now we're playing the 5-squad. Dimetrodon is going to switch to buffing every unit. And I think it's mammoth level buffs. So yeah, we get plus 2/2 to everything. Does look like we're going to lose again to this very determined hamster player. And we get a couple of units in the shop that we are interested in here. So we've got the leafy sea dragon. Now I did a video on that a while ago, so I was trying to avoid using tapir, which was in that previous video. I'll link it in the description. It is an obvious partner pet, but we also have one in the shop there in the form of the macaque. Now, there was another macaque in the shop there, but part of the impetus behind going for this particular run was that I wanted a level up team where the 3 pets in the middle are all level 1. As we actually face a sloth and we get completely demolished. We lost every single unit there for no losses on the opposing side. Now at this point we actually have to switch to a replay because the hard disk on my computer ran out of space. So yeah, I had to go back and reconstitute the last few turns. It does look like I am going to use Flounder in shop here in order to get some level ups going on the White Tiger and Team Spirit. And it is crazy really how strong these elk pivot turns can be. I can understand why people enjoy playing them. And then we faced a sloth in the previous battle, and now we face a bus. Pretty rare to see a bus in customs. But look how ridiculous this team is. Turn 11. Our base stats level 1 macaque is producing almost a 50-50 orangutan there. Now for the last unit, I thought I would just pick one of the new pets that I haven't used yet. And that is the rockhopper penguin. So it gains trumpets. And with the combination of White Tiger plus the Sea Dragon here, we can instant level 3 all the units in the middle. And you can see we have 36 trumpets in reserve, while the White Tiger just completely solos the opposing team. Yeah, level up teams can really get out of hand pretty rapidly. I guess the only way this falls apart is if they have an extremely powerful snipe team, and the pets in the middle get wiped, and then there's no rockhopper trumpets, etc. But again, pretty much a walkover there on turn 13. Still had the doggo in reserve. Now, I was deliberately avoiding leveling up the pets in the middle. I thought it was just more fun to have them all at level 1. But we can level the White Tiger and the Team Spirit, of course. Otherwise, we're not really going to have much of a chance. This is kind of fun to see someone playing a summoning vulture team with Locust. Not too many people doing that. They do get the crit there, but I don't think it's really going to matter because unfortunately Locust just doesn't have enough space to summon all of the units. I didn't actually count how many it was there that flew off the screen, but a pretty good effort for most flings in a round, I think. Now we're just going to feed the rockhopper a bit more, and then I'm going to take the potato to try and protect it. I guess if the Sea Dragon gets sniped, its ability still goes off, and it doesn't actually matter. But this was a massive jump scare here, where I ended up matching Rev. He had the level 3 Abomination, and then he had Walrus inside the Abomination to give Peanut to the Eagle. Kind of a risky setup there, because he could have overwritten the Mushroom. So maybe the Abomination should have been at the back, but yeah, it was still a very, very narrow win for me in that particular round. So now we're on 9, and we end up facing this very large shop scaling team. Everything gets reduced because of the Tarantula Hawk, but we still end up with a 50-50 orangutan once all is said and done. In fact, they actually had Skunk and Tarantula Hawk, so extremely aggressive stat reduction, and we still ended up winning there. So these days there's a lot of variation you can make with level up teams. Why not give some of the lesser used units like White Tiger a try?